Hi, I'm James Schillinglaw. I'm here at ILTM Con. We're here on the last day, and I'm here with Marcos Haidemenos, who is the managing director of a wonderful resort, Canaves. Say that for me. I'm sorry.
It's Canaves Hotels and Resorts in Santorini, Greece.
And you have actually multiple resorts, right? So we'll talk about that in a second. So we're going to, and if you all know Santorini, so this is a great place to send your clients who are going to stay in Santorini. I'm unlucky enough; I've actually never stayed there. I've always been on a cruise, but you can do that with Marcos's resort. So we're going to talk to him about that and a whole lot more on Insider Travel Report. Now, first of all, it's great to see you. How's the show been for you so far?
You too. Thank you very much for having me, first of all, James. You can do better than a cruise ship in Santorini, I think, definitely. I mean, cruise ship is definitely an amazing way to see Greece as a whole, but I would say that the Greek islands, they have so much more to offer, so you can do a sneak peek with a cruise ship and then come actually and stay and explore more.
Absolutely, and I've done that, and every time I say I'm going to come and explore more next time, but I don't do it, I end up going on a cruise ship. But so tell me about, first of all, your company. How long? What's the history of your company?
So basically, Canaves is my family's business. Actually, Canaves mean the cave houses where they used to make wine in the old days.
Okay, you still make wine?
We still do make wine, yes. And my parents, they started with three Canaves, with 3 caves in Ia village. My father inherited 2 caves actually, and then my mother had this brilliant idea. Okay, let's make a hotel with them.
Okay.
And then bit by bit they kept expanding, and now we have 4 hotels, a small collection of villas, and a couple of restaurants and a sister company with sailing excursions in Santorini.
Not too bad.
Thank you. So it's the 4 main hotels. Then we have the Canaves Boutique Hotel, we have the Canaves Suites, we have the Sunday Suites and the Epitome. And then we have Eden Villas, the small collection of villas within Santorini Island. All of them located in Ia village. Right. It's written Oya, it's pronounced Ia.
We always have that problem with that, and I would say I'm on Ia village, not Oya. Now, which is that? Remind me which one that one is. That's the one with the blue domes, or the?
It's exactly the one with the blue domes. Actually, the blue dome churches, one of them belongs to my family. The famous blue dome churches, they are very close by to 3 of our hotels, like 3 minutes walk. Right. You don't want to be too close, but you want to have the access to the blue domes.
Absolutely, and that walk around there is amazing. Now, tell us a little bit about the accommodations. I mean, you're in a cave. Some of them are caves, right? So,
exactly.
But what is it like living in a cave?
So we first started with Canaves, as I said earlier, with real caves that they used to make the wine inside. It's challenging to build on the cliffside when everything is hanging from the cliffs on different
I would
levels.
think so, yeah.
Yes, and we are very lucky to have elevator access in 2 of our properties on the cliffside, which is a very unique feature. So it's easier for our guests and our people and myself, of course, to go up and down all these steps to get to the rooms, to the facilities of the property. So cave style is very hard to build, let's say. First of all, most of these Canaves, most of these caves, they already existed, and they existed because Santorini is a volcanic island. Sure. So it was formed by volcanic eruptions, and 3,500 years ago half the island sank down, so from a big round island now we have a big croissant.
Yeah, that's it, and that's why you can see these incredible vistas,
exactly.
And you have the famous shots of the cruise ships coming by, and with the blue domes. Right?
Exactly, and this enables you to have this phenomenal, this very dramatic views from the cliffside, from the Caldera cliffside, and on this side of these cliffs, caves were formed naturally, some artificially, and this is basically how Santorini's tourism really started. Like I was saying earlier, it's very challenging to build within these caves because first of all you have to keep the humidity out, right, so that we don't have the smells and all that, and we've done that with very special techniques with concrete and stuff. But also it's very, very hard to do that with designs because everything is so curvy. Number 1, curvy, and number 2.
I mean, where do you put the bathrooms?
Normally the bathrooms that go on the far on the on the inside part.
Interior, so back in the back of the cave, right? Yeah.
Well, in the old times, they didn't have the bathrooms in the house. The bathrooms were in a separate room, but don't worry, we don't do that anymore.
So like that. So you have those. So each hotel has roughly how many rooms?
So in total, our brand owns and operates around 150 rooms, 150 suites and villas total. So we have our first property, the Canaves Boutique Hotel, is 18 suites, which is the original property that we first started with. And then the Canaves Suites, our flagship property, we have 46 suites and 2 villas. Then we have...
they're not all caves, right?
At the Canaves Suites, they're not all caves. At the Canaves Boutique Hotel, the original, they're all caves, yes. Okay. And then we have the Sunday, which is actually our smallest property with just 8 suites or 10 bedrooms. And you can it's a very popular property because you can easily convert into a 10-bedroom villa. So you can do easily a buyout and transform it into a very private estate, let's say. And then we have the Epitome, which has 53 suites and villas. It's actually the only property of ours that is not on the cliff sides of Caldera. Okay. Actually, my family took a big risk a couple of years ago. We opened in 2018, but we started building 2000.
Before.
Yes, and we started building 2015, and in an entirely new area of Ia. 10 minutes walk or 2 minutes drive from Ia, we acquired a large piece of flat land at the edge of the end of the Caldera views, let's say, right by the sunset, and we decided to make a hotel. One of the very few properties built on a flat land, still with gorgeous views, and the unique selling point there is definitely the privacy and the space we have.
Yeah, you're not going to have too many places when you're hugging the cliff, right?
Exactly, and building from scratch enabled us to use all our expertise and all our knowledge, let's say, into a brand new property called Epitome, with which we used mostly volcanic stone, so you can see very rough, dark stone features.
No, that's amazing, and I've seen all these properties. I said that looks amazing, and that also. So I'd love to visit someday to see all these different hotels that you have. Now, in terms of dining and beverage, do you have restaurants, or do you just send people out to the? I mean, you can go to the restaurants all around, but in your own hotels, you have restaurants, right?
I mean, part of our philosophy is for our guests to absolutely get out of the hotels, enjoy the destination, mingle with the locals, do all the local experiences. But definitely, each of our properties have their own unique. Restaurant, their own distinguished gastronomic experience, and because all the properties are so close to each other, each of them offers something different, so that guests can do restaurant hopping within our brand.
So you don't have to go. You find a good restaurant. You go. Is it mostly Greek food, or are you?
It's mostly Greek food. So in one restaurant we have a Greek bistro called Infinity. Then we have the Petra Greek gastronomy restaurant, which is Greek gastronomy with a twist, basically. And then we have the Veranda restaurant at the Sunday Suites, which is a Greek tapas place. You go there for a drink with some finger food and tapas, all Greek ingredients, all Greek tastes.
And then Greek wine.
Definitely Greek wine. Yes, we have a very good selection of cocktails. Actually, Santorini is very famous for its wine.
I knew that.
Because of the volcanic soil, which works as a sponge with the humidity of the atmosphere. It absorbs, and then this is how the grapes and the vines are watered. And also, because of the winds in Santorini, the locals used to make them into wreaths instead of vines. So we have a very unique way of making wine, and we have a very distinguished taste of wine with the number one grape variety called Assyrtiko. Okay. And anyways, at Epitome, we have 2 restaurants. We have the Elements restaurant, which is basically where we let our chef do whatever he felt and whatever he, to use all his creativity and to go wild. And it's one of the top gastronomic restaurants on the island of Santorini. And plus we have Omnia restaurant, which is simple seafood experience restaurant, and I would say that it's one of the most popular restaurants of ours.
Well, it sounds like you have a lot of choices to dine. You say, as you said, you don't have to go see. You can see other restaurants all around because they're all over the place. But it sounds like you got a pretty good selection to choose from.
We really try to give different experiences and different kind of gastronomic experiences specifically, so that guests could do different things while hopping from one property to the other.
Absolutely. Now, how long do guests generally stay with you, or do they choose several different properties, or do they mostly stay in one?
I would say that most of our guests, they would stay. Our average night stay is 4 nights. I think that is fairly enough. I would say that maybe 5 nights would be even more suitable. But then a lot of guests they choose Santorini as part of a bigger itinerary within Greece. Obviously, Greece is about the Greek islands, also about the mainland. So they like to do island hopping and do different destinations. So I would say 4 to 5 nights would be ideal. Stay in Santorini. A lot of our guests they choose to do one of our caldera properties.
Right.
If it's a longer stay, one of our caldera properties in combination with epitome, or if it's a shorter stay, then they choose either or.
That sounds great. So you have a lot of options within, and so now you can stay 2-3 days here and then 2 days here. We got to about 110,000 travel advisors. Anything else you want to tell them about what to tell their clients to really have a great stay with you?
I would say that Canaves is a small collection of hotels, boutique hotels, and this is key to the philosophy and what we would like to offer. Boutique means small, for us means small, family-owned, family-run, which means myself and my family were always involved within the operation of the property, which means we're close with the guests, meeting the guests, showing them the island, how we feel the island, but more importantly, we're close to our staff. So we're able, even though we're seasonal properties operating from April to November, we're able to be friends and close to our staff, to have a very low turnover of staff, which is very important for a seasonal property. And this way we're able to keep our philosophy and our level of service and expertise and personalized experience.
Absolutely. It's family run, family owned, staff that you keep. It's all the ingredients to a great success, and of course great properties as well, and great dining. Where can travel advisors go to learn more about your company and your hotels?
Well, obviously they can go to our website, which is Canaves, Canaves.com. But absolutely, you can share my contact details, and whoever wants to contact me, I would be happy to answer any questions.
Absolutely, because and everybody wants to go. Santorini is one of those dream destinations that everybody. I've been there on cruises, and I say I got to come back and actually stay a little while, not just to have that day and then head down the mountain right at the end of the day to get your cruise ship, not just to go walking around the village, the 2 major villages. And I have also been to wineries and to actually went to a music experience on the island once, which was very interesting, where they had there's a lot of things to do on the island. Definitely for 5 days I can find plenty to do. Again, thank you so much for taking the time, and I look forward to maybe the next interview we can do from one of your properties.
Thank you very much, James, for giving me the opportunity, and I would like to give special thanks to my colleague and long friend John McMulty, JMac, from jmac.com, our representative in the U.S.
Yes, he's a great guy, and we've interviewed him on here too. We actually interviewed him in a Dunkin' Donuts parking lot because he was going around the country during COVID with his own van.
Yes.
So that was, and it was a wonderful video, and he was very innovative at the time. He's a great guy. Again, so you got to go to Canaves. Say it again.
Canaves in Santorini in Greece.
Absolutely. So send your clients there, and hopefully I'm going to go there one of these days soon. And I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.